Scott, is Xbox dead?
I wanted to do this as a general talking point because there's so much doing the rounds about Xbox. There were so many different things that leaked. You've got Phil Spencer out there talking about the fact that if they don't make meaningful money with Game Pass by 2027, he can safely say they would leave the games industry, which I think sparks a whole bunch of conversations about the direction that they're going in, the fact that they're trying to do all these different moves into cloud services and everything else. I personally don't think that's the future of the industry, but I guess we'll see. I know that a lot of people have different thoughts on it, but at the same time, I just think it's all about the games. I think you look at the likes of Starfield and how much that spiked all the console sales and everything, and I just want to see more of that. I know that Spencer himself was like, it's not about the games, it has to be this wider thing, it has to be this big gamble for plan for the future, and I appreciate that. I think the ambition there is interesting, in a word, or fascinating, but I don't want to say they're doomed because I think they'll pull out of the dive if it doesn't actually happen. And I think it would suck if we lost the Xbox brand overall, just because I have too many warm fuzzy memories of the 360 and being there since the beginning in general. So I don't think they're doomed, but I think this general approach is. But I hope I'm wrong. I know that obviously they've tried this loads over the past. In the past they tried all sorts of things with online gaming, Xbox Live and all that kind of stuff, and it took time to get there. But that had a net positive. I don't know if this does, so maybe you need more games to put on the service, but maybe they can pull out of it like James Bond once did and can come back over the crest of the hill. What? You know the bit when he's in the plane and he comes back out the hill? See you later.
GoldenEye.
Yes.
Is Xbox doomed?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe, and deservedly so. Because what they've been doing lately, just nothing good. I'm sick of hearing about them. I do a lot of the news edits on our channels, and every other day it's something about this stupid acquisition of Activision Blizzard going on and on and on and on. And it's like, I'm so fucking bored of it, right? I'm so bored of this, and it's been going on for a long time now, I remember sitting in my flat sometime and seeing this piece of news about, Xbox has gone and bought Bethesda and just locked an entire subset of players out of playing any of those games. Now Xbox has bought this, now Xbox has bought that. And it's like, fine, all right, Sony's guilty of doing that at times as well. I'm not going to go to bat for Sony, who are also a gigantic corporation. There's no good guys here, is there? But I think it's the fact that Xbox is sort of doing this while at the same time going, we're doing it because we're poor little Xbox. We're the underdogs here. We've lost the console war. Underdog Xbox. And it's like, Xbox, you are synonymous with Microsoft. You are the largest corporation on the planet. Stop acting like you're some scrappy little underdog in a console war that doesn't even need to exist. Right? I'm really tired of the whole thing over the last few years just becoming this pile-up of monopolies. And they're all guilty of it, bar maybe Nintendo, who are just kind of quietly getting on with their thing over there where I'm not paying attention. You guys are great. I'm not a Nintendo guy, but you know what? I respect them for just doing what they do. But then, of course, the latest thing, Xbox is going, well, we're going to buy Nintendo. And I assume at this point Nintendo's going, no, you're fucking not. But it's just, and they we want to buy Capcom, and Capcom, no, you're not. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. And if Xbox goes, what do we lose? Someone tell me what we lose.
Game Pass.
Okay, Game Pass. That would be a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Anything else? No. We lose destruction powered by the cloud. And we lose all these meaningless buzzwords, and that's it. I'm sick of it. And if they've done this to themselves, which they have, then good riddance. Do a Nintendo and just focus on making your popular games that people like. Because I'm really bored of these huge companies acting like they are victims of some console war that they manufactured. So, yeah, off you go, Xbox. Be doomed. Welcome to your doom. Welcome to your doom.
Is Xbox doomed? That's the question that's being asked here, and I think that question's a little bit dramatic, Scott. As someone who's a very big fan of Xbox and whose Xbox is my primary console, I want to give my 2 cents here. And yes, if you can't already tell, I am wearing a PlayStation hoodie. I thought it would be ironic. Xbox is a great console. The big thing that Xbox has right now is Game Pass. And I don't care who you are, whether or not you've actually played the service, but Game Pass is an incredible deal. And you had the thing that came out, which was, Xbox are going to leave the industry by 2028 if Game Pass isn't more profitable. And that, I think, is complete horseshit, because they're not going to drop $70-80 billion to acquire Activision Blizzard to then say, but in 5 years, we're going to leave the industry. That is not how it's going to go. They're probably going to raise the price, and I think, yeah, that sucks, but it is justified, because if you think about all of the exclusives that are coming out for Xbox, I'm going to just list a few here. Bear with us for 1 sec. We have Avowed, Fable, Clockwork Revolution, not sure what that is, but sure. Forza Motorsport, Hellblade 2, Elder Scrolls 6, South of Midnight, Ark 2, Stalker 2, State of Decay 3, which I'm very much looking forward to, The Outer Worlds 2, Perfect Dark, and those are the games that have only been announced. Like, there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes, like with the likes of Gears 6, the next Halo game, the next Doom game, the next Fallout game. Like, there's a lot of games that'll be coming that are in the pipeline. And I think to write Xbox off because, they don't have any exclusives, is daft at this point, because Starfield's just come out and it's an incredible game. Like, I personally love that game. So yeah, personally, I don't think Xbox is doomed. I think they're going to continue to pump money into Game Pass. They'll probably raise the price of it to offset that. But as long as they keep delivering the good games and us as gamers have things to look forward to, I don't see much of an issue. It's when they start taking the piss out of us and saying, everything's going to be all digital and all that, that's when we should start to be worried. But currently, I think, yeah, they're going to continue to do what they've been doing, and hopefully some great games do actually come out on the system.
Si,
Hello.
just how doomed is Xbox?
Well, we talked about this on a recent episode of The Wind Up. We talked about how there was talk about Xbox being doomed for a long time and sort of early on in Xbox One life. And the general idea is that they went, okay, well, we've kind of screwed the pooch here. Let's now adjust our vision forward. Let's plan for the next generation, which, I mean, to some degree, they did successfully do that. Game Pass is quite a impressive idea that largely has worked out. But now the problem, I think, is that they haven't ever set their vision back to where it needs to be. They're still looking forward, which is handy because they're not seeing the smouldering wreckage that is Xbox right now. They're too busy looking forward to what their next console is going to do, as we know from the league. And I know they have to forward plan these things, but it does seem they're not paying attention and enough money and time into fixing broken games. We finally have a game, guys. It's Redfall. Oh, cool. Thanks for that. Barely a video game. It's just stuff like that where it's like they're digging their own grave. They got no one else to blame. You talk about, everyone's picking on us, the little company, but it's like, yeah, you're not helping yourself by actually being a games company, for goodness sake. When we talk about the Xbox and the news, it's always, they're buying someone else or all that kind of stuff. Whereas when you talk about, Sony does it too, you're right. But when we look at Sony, usually you go, can't wait till XYZ exclusive comes out. Xbox is just like, here's a shovel full of games we stuck on Game Pass every couple of months. Okay, cool, I guess. So the way that it keeps up, yeah, probably. Which is wild, because the Xbox 360 is like the biggest console ever. What went wrong?
Stevie,
Hello.
Is Xbox doomed?
I don't think Xbox is doomed. I think Xbox will change. I think that if you look at the stuff that they've done with the Xbox Adaptive Controller, I think they're going to move into different areas. I don't think buying game studios and shipping games and developing games is what they're good at. I think that they're going to move into different types of hardware, maybe into different types of VR, different areas in that remit of things that they haven't done before, and I think they're going to be really good at it. So I think we're going to see different things from Xbox, but I think it's not going to be in the same kind of console war iteration that we've had already. Also, would it be the worst thing in the world if they bought Activision and got some HR into Activision?
That's a very good point.
I'm not being funny, but it would be kind of nice to, see marginalised people go more than a year at Activision without being harassed.
Let's just buy the abuse companies. That's good.
I mean, Xbox are pretty wonderful when it comes to diversity, inclusion, accessibility, and all of that stuff. So if they want to buy all of the AAA companies and turn them into into decent studios that treat their people well, I think that's probably a good thing. And that's about
Stop
as
being reasonable on the internet. What a nice answer.
I know, I'm the nice one, but yeah, Activision, you're just terrible. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Lovely. It's nice, not a rant. Are you going to rant about Xbox being doomed?
No, I'm taking the coward's option here. I'm stealing everyone's answer and assembling it into a big infinity gauntlet of cowardice, right? Because like Scott Tailford, I've been with Xbox since the beginning. My very first console was a Dreamcast, and then I was there for the OG Xbox, then the 360 was amazing. I suffered like 3 Red Ring consoles during that era. It was the dark times. So I feel like even though I haven't been with Xbox since making the jump to PlayStation 4 in like 2014, I'm qualified to talk about the overarching journey of this company. And I think Stevie's right. I think it's a case of like it's not doomed, but the old Xbox that we know is kind of doomed. And just speaking personally, like I think that frustrates me about Xbox, on top of all the acquisitional stuff, because I think it's a very lazy way to, make kind of marginal gains over your competition. And it's also kind of really uninspired. Like, we're not really getting any, like, unique, new, fresh ideas from within Xbox. And obviously, Sony has a bunch of different studios they bought. But it's like, you can't even get Halo right. And when you can't get Halo right, I really do have to question the entire purpose of this enterprise, because it's like Xbox staked its claim back in the early 2000s. The thing that really set it apart from PlayStation was like, we are the premier multiplayer people. We do multiplayer better than any other kind of like console. And it's just not the same. And this might just be loads of like canned nostalgia that I'm unfurling on the table here, but we're never going to get old Xbox avatars back. We're never going to have that kind of stupid, really dorky kind of era of Xbox multiplayer gaming back when there was loads of really good titles there. And I just think that leaning into, and like you said, Joe, it does wind me up as well. It's like, I'm just a little guy. I'm just little Xbox. I can't compete with this big PlayStation company. No sirree, so I'm going to have to buy everything. That does wind me up as well. But yeah, I think old Xbox, doomed, new Xbox. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something different. But I'm not gonna be there for it. I think the Xbox chip has shaled. I'm going Sean Connery now. But maybe in a few years' time I'll get an Xbox One or a Series X or whatever, and have it as my little backwards compatible machine. But yeah, just the whole stuff you mentioned there, the whole rhetoric of we're for the gamers, that kind of really grinds my gears too. But
because they're not.
Yeah, so yeah, to end this protracted kind of rant, I'm just kind of, Xbox, old Xbox, gone. New Xbox, who knows? I've said the word Xbox too many times. My brain is going to make the Xbox red ring noise now.
You are the Xbox marketing strategy right now. Speaking of Sean Connery, what did Sean Connery say when all his books fell on his head?
What, Joe?
I only have myself to blame.
God.
Yeah.